Aspect ratio. Why do we care about this? Well, it's something we hear a lot of. One camera uses one aspect ratio while another uses something different. Then, depending on where the film or video is going to be broadcast, the aspect ratio might change based on the broadcast method. Is it planned for a cinematic release or perhaps television or online? Chances are you have seen these numbers, such as 4/3 or 16:9, but what do they mean? Being able to communicate this information to your director of photography, camera crew, and most importantly to the distributors will help reduce situations of misunderstanding. Let's start with the definition. Aspect ratio is the relationship between the width and height of an image. It describes the size of the image or video that the audience will be seeing, such as how high and how wide it is. 3:2. 35mm film is a 3:2 aspect ratio. So even though this is something not used for filmmaking anymore, it was the primary format for films back in the era of black and white movies. But as television was brought to market and wide screens were manufactured for cinemas, to now where people watch movies on the big screen or phones, we have even more choices for formats to broadcast in. Next we have 4:3. The aspect ratio 4:3 or 4/3. This was the aspect ratio used by standard definition televisions. Since no one has SD TVs anymore, televisions and movies are no longer shot in this aspect ratio. But since previous movies and shows were made with this aspect ratio, you will still see this when watching an older film. The way you'll notice it is there will be black boxes on the left and right of the screen. Also note, Panasonic offers the Lumix, a mirrorless camera that has a micro 4/3 sensor, and this is very popular among some no-budget filmmakers. Next we have 231 and 2551. This is known as CinemaScope. This format was popular in the 1950s as development in anamorphic lenses improved over what could be filmed. This also led to the development of 70mm film, which allows for that expanding image. Then we have 16:9 or 16:9. This is currently the most popular aspect ratio for independent filmmakers and high-definition televisions. Most TVs now are sold using the 16:9 aspect ratio, as this is what shows are being filmed in. And then finally, we've got 1851 and 2391. This is the widescreen standard in cinemas now. Modern big-budget movies, such as anything released by Disney, MGM, or any one of the other major studios uses. That was just a brief intro to what aspect ratios are and those definitions. Hopefully this helps kind of give you a better idea on thinking about when you're making your film, how do you plan to distribute it, and then shooting or editing in an aspect ratio for that distribution method.